in the room with the people who are going to build the next U.S. Air Force tanker, I'll tell you that. Well, before we talk about this, I just wanted to make an announcement today about some new legislation that I will be introducing as soon as we get back after the election. You know, we have this problem with people in our country who have offended against our society time after time after time. Folks who just don't get the message and continue to reoffend to the detriment of our community and our neighbors. And I am today announcing when I return in 2 weeks to the U.S. House, I will be introducing the Dino Rossi 3 Strikes and You're Out bill. I think it's about time for that, don't you? You know, a guy told me the other day, I just got to share the story for you. He says, what's the difference between the Seattle Sonics and Dino Rossi? Well, the difference is when out-of-state interests bought the Seattle Sonics, they left. That's the difference. We have an absolutely tremendous United States Senator, and she said something to me that, you know, I've been in politics for a while and I've heard a lot of, you know, stuff. But she said something that struck home with me the other day. She said, Washington is my family, and my family is hurting. And I think, having watched her for years in the U.S. Senate, there really is no member of the U.S. Senate who carries Bothell and Pullman and Spokane and Bremerton in her heart like Patty Murray. And I have seen, and the reason I mention this, because there is a secret of her success. By the way, you know why the state of Washington this year did not have to lay off thousands of teachers? It's because of Senator Patty Murray. And the reason she gets it done is because she is persistent and tactical, but mostly she carries a little bit of our families in her heart every single day. And I can warrant that to you, having seen what she can accomplish on the floor of the Senate. She and I fly back and across the country every Monday and Friday. It's 2,500 miles. But I will tell you, you have a senator who never left the neighborhood. And this is a tremendous thing for us in this regard. And what I see now is really a contest between those who want to move forward and those who want to move backwards. And this country never, ever goes backwards. And I may note, that R for Dino Rossi stands for reverse, believe me.
Yeah, no doubt.
But what I think this contest boils down to in Senator Murray's race is the difference between those who want to be optimistic and those who want to cower in pessimism. And right now is a moment where we need leaders who stand strong for optimism. And when I think of Patty Murray, I think what Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, and this is the difference. He, of course, said, at this moment of trial, all we have to fear is fear itself. All Patty Murray's opponents have to campaign on is fear itself.
That's right.
We need leaders like Patty Murray who are hopeful in times of trial, confident in times of tumult, and resolute in times of trouble. This is Senator Patty Murray. That is exactly who she is. So I want to talk about another ally in our fight, and that is a great U.S. Congressman, Rick Larson. When WTO slapped Airbus with this sanction that concluded they had received $5 billion of illegal subsidies. There were people in the U.S. Congress who said we couldn't do anything about that because trade treaties would prevent us from standing up for Boeing families. And I want to tell you, I am very proud to have stand shoulder to shoulder with Rick Larson to pass an amendment in the U.S. House of Representatives to make sure the Air Force takes into consideration these illegal subsidies by Airbus. Thank you, Rick Larson. And
That's
thank
right.
You
Woo!
So I want to suggest what is in the stake in Rick's race. What it could mean for real people in our district. Think of a person who might have worked for a Boeing contractor, might be out of work right now, might have lost their health insurance, might be, let's say it's a woman, let's say she's got 2 kids, and she can't get insurance because she has diabetes, because right now, until we pass this law, the insurance companies will be able to say, you don't get insurance because you had diabetes. What would the election of Rick's opponent cost her? The election of Rick's opponent would cost her the ability to have health insurance, and that is wrong. We have got to get Rick Larson reelected so that she does not serve that. And what started this whole debacle? What started this whole problem? It was the greed and venality and George Bush who deregulated Wall Street. The election of Rick Larson's opponent would cost her a job for the next 10 years here at Boeing. Let's re-elect Rick Larson to make sure she gets that job and get this done. So, I am just here to say there's a lot of naysayers out there. We understand there's always pessimists in the crowd, but I'm here to tell you we are going to insure the health insurance for 30 million Americans, and we're not backing up 1 inch. We are going to insure